I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. We had a riotous but productive budget work session at 4:30. Sorry you all missed it. Well, no, you were there.
He was there.
Any visitor or public comment? No? Okay. All right. Announcements. Our next meeting is Tuesday, November 17th at 7 p.m. We're going to be closed on Tuesday, November 3rd for Election Day, and November 11th, Wednesday, for Veterans Day. Applications are being accepted for the Doylestown Township Zoning Hearing Board, as well as other boards and commissions. Check our website for information. Halloween, HOWL, was the dogs, Saturday, October 24th at 10 a.m. to 1. And rain date is Sunday, October 25th. All at Turk Park 3, adjacent to the dog park. CB Cares Pumpkin Fest is 2015, the Saturday, October 24th, the Moravian Towel Works, from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's $20 a carload, cash only. Doylestown Township Leaf and Yard Recycling is 9 a.m. to 11, March through December, every third Saturday of the month. Drop-off site is New Britain Road, access to Central Park. Daylight savings, woohoo! Ends on Sunday, November 1st. Remember to turn your clocks back 1 hour, November 1st, Sunday, November 1st. That's good. That's good. You get an hour. All right, next item on the agenda, approval of the minutes. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr.
I have a question on dropping things off,
Okay.
on that Saturday. Do you drop them off ahead of time or just when they're there?
Typically just when they're there.
Just, okay.
Yeah, between 9 and 11.
9 to 11.
I've done it the last two Saturdays, like the leaves and by hedges and that. And I asked him, and he said he wasn't sure.
Third Saturday of each month between 9 and 11.
Okay, yeah.
Okay?
I mean, I understand that,
Yeah.
but I didn't know what they could do before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Next item is the approval of the minutes from the Board of Supervisors meeting of October 6, 2015. Everyone have a chance to review?
Yes, move to approve.
Second.
Hang on one second. Which one was first, the budget work session?
Oh, the regular meeting.
Oh, the other one.
October 6th. Yeah, I just want to clarify one thing before we move. The staffing needs under E says the police, they want to hire one new hire to retain 21 police officers. In order to retain 21 police officers, we need 2 hires. One this year, November, and one turn of 2016 in January. So I just wanted to clarify that reference there. All right, other than that, is everyone okay with that clarification?
Yes.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
And then the other is the approval of the budget work session notes on October 6, 2015. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any corrections, changes? All in favor?
Aye.
Correspondence? Anything,
Not
Madam
this-
Manager?
No.
Reports from the solicitor?
Nothing that we're not going to discuss later in the agenda, Madam Chairperson.
Chief?
Nothing to report. Nothing at this time.
Manager, anything to report?
Yes, just to follow up from our budget work session, and the request from the non-uniform came to me late on Friday, and we brought it up this afternoon. Just wanted to reiterate the importance for the non-uniformed employees. I think they made a very good case in terms of the need with the change in healthcare, the cost for visiting specialists especially, as well as pathology. Those are going to increase significantly, and I believe that they really haven't seen some of those benefits that the police have seen over the years, and they don't begrudge that, but there used to be a little bit more parity on benefits between the non-uniformed and the police department, and I think it would go a long way with the non-uniformed employees, knowing how much they're appreciated by the township, and just appreciate your consideration. And if anyone has any questions regarding...
You're talking about the HR card?
Yes, the HRA cards. So if anyone has any questions between now and the time we wrap up the budget, please let me know.
And you think the HR card for the entire non-uniform staff would cost about how much?
It's probably about $10,200 a year.
And did you discuss that with the Ways and Means yet?
I did. I spoke with Ed, and we believe we can find the money in there.
Okay. Anybody have any questions at this time?
No, I mean, we discussed it at the budget work session briefly, so I think once we can all get our hands around it and try to understand it, we'll be able to make a decision about it. But for right now, we'll just pass on it for right now.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Supervisors. Oh, I'm sorry, did you have?
No, I had nothing else.
Since the last meeting, we had our Park and Rec meeting and bike and hike this morning. Nothing particular to report, except, of course, encourage you to come out to them. I think the bike and hike, we filled our vacancy with a borough member, but we have, Stephanie, we still have a vacancy on Park and Rec.
Yes, we do.
Right? So if there's anybody interested in the Park and Rec Board, encourage you to come out and come to our next meeting and see what it's about, see what we do. Other than that, I don't have anything to add today. Thank you.
Thank you. Ken,
Just one thank you to,
Larry has a question.
When's your next meeting?
Let's see, we just had it. So, second Tuesday at 5:30. So it won't be till November at this point, second Tuesday.
10th, November 10th.
So 10th?
yeah, just a thank you to the staff, the Ways and Means committees, and all the supervisors for the, as you mentioned, the robust discussion we had. There was a lot of material that was prepared that we've never done before, and it was a real energized discussion, and I think we flushed out a lot of details much better than we've ever done in the past. So thank you all for putting in that extra work, and it'll take us into the future more prepared.
No, I said riotous, but robust probably is a better word. Rick, do you have anything?
No, I think riotous and robust kind of sums it all up. The only thing I have is a planning commission meeting. We're going to cover that later. That's the only committee meeting I had since the last board.
I'm going to Harrisburg on next Wednesday. They're doing a show, and they want our input. Doylestown Township is taken an initiative on drug awareness, prevention, and education, and the Pennsylvania Association of Township Supervisors is interested in what we're doing. So they've asked me to come out, and they're going to do a show, and then that's going to be, I guess, televised and shown around the Commonwealth. So I just want you to know that. So if you have any input that you want me to take back or take to Harrisburg, please let me know. And that's all I got right now. Move along. What, you got something? New business, employment contracts, Doylestown Township Police contract. The PBA has approved the latest iteration of the contract, and it's up for us now to sanction the contract as well.
Actually, to approve the four-year contract beginning January 1, 2015, and running through December 31, 2018. Highlights are it's a 3.5% increase each year for 4 years. There's some other issues that were dealt with as far as ongoing day-to-day operations of the department. In addition, we have made significant modifications to the health care provided, the co-pays and the like. In addition, police, for the first time, will be contributing toward their health care. So I think the negotiating team would request that the board approve the new police contract.
I just want to point out that in that contract, the HRA card that the police get are $800 each.
For family and $600 for singles.
Yeah,
Correct.
As opposed to what
$300
non-uniform is requesting or recommending.
I had one question.
I thought, excuse me, I'm sorry, I didn't have this pulled out. I thought we had agreed that when a patrolman or some other non-supervisory person is acting as a supervisor, that they had to be in that position for a period of time.
It's my understanding it's 2 continuous weeks or 10.
Continuous weeks.
Right.
But I don't think that's in the contract as such.
You look at it, because Matt is the one that did the final.
Is it calendar weeks or, yeah, it's calendar weeks, right?
Let me find it.
I had it.
Page
I'm
6,
sorry.
I think.
Office,
If a charge is not available to work for more than 7 consecutive work days, which in this case is 2
calendar
weeks. That's why it's,
Yeah.
7, in office, okay.
7 consecutive work days is 2 weeks on our time.
Because of the 12-hour
Yeah,
shifts.
because of the 12-hour shift.
Right.
Okay.
And the chief of police will select an officer in the OIC who will serve that position for each hour he serves in that position. So-
All right, so it's after 2 weeks.
Right.
Is that what you understood?
Yeah.
Okay. Then that's fine with me. Does anybody have any questions with it?
No.
It looks pretty good. All right, that's the only question I had. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next item is the approval of the contract for the chief of police, Chief Logan. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then for Lieutenant O'Connor. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Code enforcement imaging scanning request.
Sorry, I'm just waiting for my, I'm sliding across my, yeah.
See, if you had it in paper in front of you, you wouldn't have to do that.
I know, I apologize. In the packet, the board has a memo from Sinclair, our Director of Code Enforcement, and Sinclair is here this evening. In this year's budget, the 2015, we had $19,000 available for scanning. We've obtained 3 quotes, and you see the quotes there, and from ScanTech, Schaefer Technologies, and ImageNet DocStar. And we recommend that we work with ScanTech of Willow Grove in the amount of $17,139.75 to scan and place on hard drive the code enforcement property files. We have 111 boxes down back with 2,500 pages that will be scanned images. Sinclair, would you like to add anything else for the board?
You need to get to a microphone, otherwise he'll come out and yell at us. Thank you.
Yeah, this is just part of our ongoing quest to provide excellent service to the residents. With a reduced code enforcement staff, we try and be as efficient as possible, and of course getting as much of our documentation and records onto in a digital form, we can easily respond to requests for information and research properties and research information for residents, contractors, and ourselves.
Okay.
What will happen to the 110 boxes?
They will be treated as the state records retention requires. And at the moment, any permits which are associated with buildings have to be retained for the life of the building. So the main thing is they can be now stacked in a more...
They can be archived.
They can be archived completely, basically, out of our way if we get them all digitized.
Okay. Have we ever used ScanTech for anything before? Do we know?
ScanTech are a local company in Willow Grove. We have spoken to other departments. They've done a lot of work for many commercial operations within this area. We've had presentation from them. They've visited, and I think their reputation is good, and we expect them to do a good job for us.
So that they'll come and take the 110 and go off and
Yes,
scan them and bring
that's
everything
correct.
back? Okay.
A truck will arrive, they'll take them off to Willow Grove, they destaple them, they do everything that's necessary to scan all the images, index them, return them to us in a usable fashion.
Okay.
And if I understood everything, one of the nice features is, once all that data is in, it can be sliced and diced and sorted and looked for and researched.
Yes.
As opposed to what you go through now.
Correct, yeah. Keeping Doylestown Township at the head of the 20th century and the 21st century we're moving into.
How long will it
Let's
take
not
them to
push
do
it.
How long
Go
will
and
it
kick
take them to
them
do
in
it?
the
I'm not certain exactly how long it will take them. It will be several weeks.
But they'll finish it this year?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
We'll entertain a motion.
Lee has a question.
Will that be available online?
No, they're confidential records. It's basically just to, no, amongst building permit stuff, there are some confidential records. But it's basically to provide efficient service to residents that request information and, as I say, our research during permit issuance, the historical information related to each property.
All right, we'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Any other questions?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, Tabor Property Sketch Plan, New Britain Road and Easton Road.
As the board knows, sketch plan does not require taking any action. I believe Mr. Gunlack and his client are just looking for board reaction to what will be discussed, and without saying anything further, Mr. Gunlack is here, and as is his client.
Good. Thank you for including us on the agenda. Rob Gunlock here for the applicant. Kristen Holmes here. Kristen's a licensed professional engineer who's been working on the project. Pam Northrop Gunlock is here as well on behalf of the applicant. Dawn Diamond and Jonathan Solomons from the Tabor home are here. And Joe Morrissey of NV Homes, the proposed builder, couldn't be here tonight, but is involved in the project.
Rob, if I may, your
Sure.
easel obstructs the view for the board.
Is there a better, bring it
Probably
up here?
better over here, I guess, because they can only see the one side of it. At least some board members, anyway.
Sure. So by way of brief background, Tabor has operated in Doylestown Township for many years, and over that period of time has sold off some of their ground. They sold adjacent lands to what is several 4 or 5 single-family homes, and several years back they sold the land across Easton Road for the Commerce Center, which has now been constructed as an office park. Tabor right now conducts daycare, counseling, and office facilities at the site, and desires to continue to do so, but only needs the existing buildings and approximately 5 acres. They recently solicited some proposals from several area developers. Pam submitted a proposal that was reviewed by the Board of Tabor and the Board of Wood, and ultimately her proposal was accepted for the property and entered into an agreement of sale to purchase approximately 14 acres of lands that included the existing manor house on the property. It's currently zoned C3, which allows commercial, a limited amount of commercial, similar to what was constructed across the street, that type of office building, some daycare, some medical offices. It does not allow retail under that zoning, but it is being proposed now by the applicant to be developed for single-family residential. That would require a rezoning of a portion of the property to R1 and a text amendment to allow single-family in combination with the preservation of a historic home. That home, as we understand it, is on the township's list of historic properties, and the applicant has proposed as part of this project to renovate, restore, and bring back that historic property as a single-family residential home. Currently in your zoning in the R1, you do allow development of townhomes with the preservation of a historic structure, and I think the Fiegel Farm is an example of how that was achieved on Lower State Road several years back. The applicant did research in connection with the project and in connection with their work with NV Homes. NV Homes is a national home builder, has several communities that they built and under construction in Central Bucks area. And they were of the opinion that single-family was more appropriate for this property and this location of the township. That's why they're proposing a text amendment to allow that. I'm going to ask Kristen to give a quick overview of the plan and how the applicant is proposing to lay it out if this was something that was amenable to the board and its commissions.
Rob, before you turn over the podium, what's the minimum lot size required in R1, and what do your lot sizes average with your proposed text amendment on the plan you have in front of us?
Well, with the plan, we included, right, the text amendment to identify the B16 use, which would allow
Smaller lots, am I right?
lots as small as 10,000 square feet. These are proposed as a village-style home, and Joe Morrissey, I'm going to hand out to you some samples as to the type of homes he's proposing here, a different mix of village homes here. So the village homes traditionally, Mr. Garten, are on smaller lots. A community that NV just built is in Plumstead Township in its village district up on Route 413. If you're familiar with that, it's been recently completed, but it's a similar village-style home that's being proposed here as well. The existing zoning allows R1 is what, Kristen?
40,000 square foot lots.
Okay. Now, as part of this, the applicant's also proposing to provide some open space, which is not in the R1 for 40,000 square foot lots, and I'll let Kristen describe how that open space was proposed on the property.
Before you do that, you said 14 acres, correct, Mr. Gunla? Is that what you're buying?
Approximately. It's, I think the survey hasn't been done.
Give or take.
Give or take, yeah.
So, and how many houses do you propose?
20 new single-family homes plus the preservation of the historic house, so 21 if you count the historic house, which leaves the Tabor improvements on 5 acres, approximately.
The proposed development is split, as mentioned, to approximately 5 acres. That may be hard to see on this plan, but there is a red subdivision line that comes down through approximately the center of the property and bends around the existing facilities on the Tabor Services side in order to retain those existing buildings and services that they currently have. This proposed, which I would be calling Lot A on the sketch plan, is 5.05 acres approximately, and it maintains the existing driveway access to New Britain Road that's there today. It maintains all of the existing parking and driveways within that front area along New Britain Road. It maintains an existing daycare building, which is shown here, and an existing former dormitory building.
He's going to give you this one.
Oh.
Okay. Action.
The existing daycare building is being proposed to remain, and the existing, which is a former dormitory, is also being proposed to remain. The proposed subdivision line goes along all of those existing buildings in order to preserve those functions. For the residential portion, the surrounding properties to the west and to the north are all zoned R1 residential. We are proposing to rezone this portion of the property to R1 residential as well. The proposed improvements will maintain the existing historic dwelling, as was mentioned, on a larger lot, and it will maintain the viewshed that exists today along Easton Road. There will be proposed stormwater basin for all of the new improvements as part of the subdivision, and there will also be a deed-restricted open space area along the frontage of the road frontages for both New Britain and Easton Road in front of that historic dwelling in order to preserve that viewshed on that lot. The 20 proposed lots are distributed throughout the portion of the property with 2 proposed streets. The main entrance would be coming out to the existing signalized entrance at Easton Road that comes with the office complex across the street. And a secondary right-in, right-out access is proposed further down Easton Road for additional access to serve the dwellings. The proposed lots with the text amendment is a minimum 10,000 square foot lot area. They're distributed with different lot sizes throughout, and the plan that's shown here averages approximately 18,000 square foot lots between the 20 lots through here. There are changes to the tract area dimensional requirements as part of the text amendment, as well as the individual lot dimensional requirements for this, which are all proposed in that B16 use for this text amendment. There are also buffers that are required between the residential district and the commercial zoning district, each of which are shown with different dashed lines on this plan.
What would be the lot yield if you didn't get the text amendment, you did it traditionally as an R1?
With the 40,000 square foot lots, it would be approximately 14 to 15 lots.
No, you sure?
Around 10.
Yeah, at the most, you sure?
Roadways and things to account for.
If it's 10,000 for one,
Well, we have 13.7 acres on the residential portion of the property. Divide by 40,000. I have to do the math in my head, but
You haven't done site capacity calculations.
You haven't done
yet,
that,
though,
you
have
haven't done basins and all that other stuff,
Yeah.
so.
we haven't done a full survey of
No,
the
no,
property.
understood.
We've used the aerial imagery to determine the woodlands area and the property line and the tax map information as far as the boundary to approximate those items right now.
So you don't know your net buildable, though?
We have it based on,
So it's more than 10, but less than 15? Give or take.
so the net buildable site area for the proposed residential portion is approximately 11 acres.
But just under the current zoning, because it's not R1, it would allow office comparable to what's across the street, maybe 260,000, give or take, office buildings.
Yes, it would be larger scale office buildings with larger parking areas on this tract.
We know.
And the open space that's being proposed is 20% around the historic house, correct?
It's 20%, and as I mentioned, it is along the road frontages to maintain the viewshed of that historic dwelling.
So as Jeff said, we're just here for some preliminary take from you as to your thoughts as to the redevelopment of this property for single-family as opposed to the commercial. We did meet with the Planning Commission. They are doing a walkabout on the property, I believe, next week, and then we intend to go back and continue discussions with them. But we didn't want to get too far along or too deep in the weeds if this is something that the Board of Supervisors did not believe was appropriate for the property, then obviously we wouldn't continue on that path. If they thought that it's something that could be a good option for this property in lieu of the commercial, then we'll continue on and work with the Planning Commission.
Could you just explain to the, I don't know, at the top side there, if you had mentioned there's residential, is it along the whole, I just don't know the property, it's along that whole section? That's all residential today?
Yes, it's all zoned residential. It's all zoned R1 all along the perimeter of that portion.
my only comment is, Ken and I spent many years on the Planning Commission. We have an excellent Planning Commission, probably the best in Bucks County, in my opinion, if not. My humble opinion. So.
No bias.
I mean, this is a complex situation, you admit that.
Sure.
I'd like to hear what the Planning Commission has to say when we do the site survey and walking around, and you kind of get more into the details. So I don't have any gut reaction. I'm waiting to hear.
Fair enough.
Yep, let it go through planning. Let the guys do
Defer
it.
to them and see what
Yep.
they
Okay.
give feedback.
Yeah. Since I haven't seen the house, the existing home, this architectural style, this fits in with that? I mean, it wouldn't...
Well, it would be customized. I mean, that just shows you an example as to the type of homes and how they want to mix it up, but they would be, a stone accent on homes to complement the manor house. The details of the architecture, that's one requirement in the ordinance, is that the architecture has to be approved. So, and again, if it proceeded forward, the applicant would be obtaining more detailed designs from a local architect on the product type.
Do you know where the traditional neighborhood design is in the borough? Off Broad Street, you go, take that little road, I think that road. You know,
Ranford Hill?
Yeah, Veterans Lane, there's that
Yeah.
buildings, this looks like that.
Oh, okay.
They look like traditional design houses. They all look like that.
Yeah, because they don't have any open space in those lots now, they're all squeezed in.
Yeah, so that's what it's going to look like, a
Okay.
neighborhood. That's what
Yep.
they're proposing, something that looks like a neighborhood of these kind of houses,
Yep.
which you can see kind of laid out.
Yeah, okay.
The garden, right, the Garden Village one, if you go up 413, where I call it the Milk House there, right across from that, it's 413 and Point Pleasant Pike there.
Across from the Gardenville Inn
Yeah,
Hotel.
yes. Those are village style. Now, those lots are a little bit smaller than these. These are a bigger, even though the smallest is 10,000, they average 18,000. So it is a bigger lot with setbacks, so, but, we'd submit to you that this is an area of the township where this transition could occur and would occur appropriately between traditional R1 and some office commercial and some other village homes that are there in that small village now. As part of this, there would be a walking trail along the entire frontage of the property, which would connect out and take residents even further closer towards the borough, and maybe someday with a few other properties, it'll take everybody all the way into the borough there, but certainly it continues it on.
But your proposal is for residential only.
Correct. This applicant's not proposing to do office, and if this didn't work out there, they're
A lot
not.
of houses, and it's lousy in and out there. It's really not safe, that area. I'm getting in and out of that area, it's really
You said it's going to line with the traffic light, right?
Correct. There'll be the traffic light.
Yeah.
This one, the second one's just proposed as right in, right out, because I think your ordinance requires a second access over a certain number of homes, but it could be, as discussions with the Planning Commission, this could be limited to emergency access. Doesn't have to be a right in, right out there, and all could come from the traffic light, but that's certainly a discussion item. We just included it to show how a second access could be positioned, into the property.
Okay.
Just one final point, Mr. Gunlock, you mentioned about next Monday. I think that's already been filled with the New Britain joint.
It's at 4. They're going to walk about at 4.
We're going to be able to squeeze that in between that and the regular, or can we pick another?
No, they're going to walk about at 4, and then they're going to come back at 6 for their...
You said we're the best planning commission.
They can do it all.
They can do it.
It's a long night, so don't complain to me.
They don't really have anything on their 7 o'clock at this point.
Hopefully the weather will be like it is today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good.
Okay, good,
Yep.
thanks. Thanks for your time.
All right. Discuss items related to future 2016 plus township budgets. Okay. Borrowing for replacement of Chapman Road Bridge. Thoughts?
Well, the thoughts are, one, Dick and his crew had just finished an upgrade and some renovations on that bridge, and we thought it might last us 5 years. At least that was the hope. I think everybody's inclined to try to get it done sooner, so I think we should try to plan that within 3 years if possible, no more than 5, but we need to make some accommodations to get this one done.
Okay. Anybody else?
Oh, I'm for it. I'm for, you mentioned here borrowing. Yeah, we're going to have to borrow for it.
About $1
They're
million.
estimating about $1 million to $1.5 million.
$1 million to $1.5 million, $1.5 million.
Yeah,
$1.5 million.
it's
There you
definitely...
go.
So it's something that we're going to have to borrow. So the question is, if we borrow it, how do we pay for the debt service?
Well, you ought to, when does the debt service for the Central Park come off your books?
It's already been absorbed.
2017,
All right.
to answer your question.
So there's no, we can't lead right into the other debt then?
No.
Been there,
Sorry.
done that.
That's right.
However, I think that we still have an opportunity to get one loan to cover Chapman Road and a new building.
Chapman Bridge.
Chapman
Yep.
Bridge and the new building.
So is it the consensus of the board to pick a design of a construction path and then?
Well, I think
look
we
into
all agree it
financing
needs to
for-
be done, so then it's just a matter of
Yes.
how to
So
pay
everyone
for
agrees
it.
that we have to build or
Correct.
expand,
Correct.
Correct.
and everybody agrees that we have to do the bridge.
Yes.
Now, what I'm asking is, are we going to finance, is it the idea to finance both at the same time, and then see what that
I
is
would
going
think
to
so.
cost?
But there was some limitations, if you remember at the last
We have
meeting,
to
with
do it
timing and all that.
85%
Yeah,
within
within
3
3
years.
years, so. That was the one caveat, that you might have to separate them, that was the only
Well,
thought.
by the time you do the design on whatever you're doing to the building, and you design on the bridge, you're going to be out to the point where you can probably spend that money within the required time of when you actually do the borrowing.
Well, you need to, because otherwise you're penalized.
You have to be
Or
85%
you can
done from the date of
do, or
borrowing.
you can do a resolution such that if you have enough cash, you can advance the money and then pay yourselves back from the financing, because you don't want to do two separate financings, because you'll be running the same cost twice.
Right.
So you would want to try to do it all in one financing, and you can do a loan anticipation resolution so that you can pay yourselves back.
We got that. The question is whether if we borrow it all in year one, we'll be able to do everything by year 3. Because by year 3, you should have everything 85% done.
Of both.
Is that correct?
That's going to take some,
Both
that's going to
projects.
take some planning and some discussions and an idea of when it's going to all happen.
Yeah, and the idea is to get all that planned and discussed as soon as possible to take advantage of the money.
Low interest rates, too.
Yeah, low interest, but I think we also, sounds like we all agree that projects need to be done. The bridge is more than a desire, we're required to for
Absolutely,
safety
I don't
issues.
think
So,
that's an issue.
but so we shouldn't, while we should try to make an effort to lump them together, it shouldn't be conditioned upon us coming up with an agreement on that, whatever we're doing with this. We have to do that no matter what.
Well, you could do a bank
do the
loan
bridge.
for the bridge, and then pay the bank loan off with a bond financing when you do whatever you're going to do to the building. So you could do it that way so that you're,
At least get it started.
you can get the bridge done while you're, because loans from banks, you're not going to pay a lot of money. It's the bond issue that is going to have a lot of extra costs. But something you need to plan and figure out how you're
Well,
going
we
to do
start the
it.
engineering of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so one or the other, but they're both getting done.
Both getting done.
You're
Yes.
going to finance the first with a bank loan, depending on the timing. But by the end of December, let's really decide, we're going to try and have a direction on the building, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
Yep.
That's the goal.
Yeah, because if you don't know where you're going with that, you're just kind of spinning your
We have to-
wheels.
we have-
Exactly.
Yeah, so we discussed that earlier, and we're all on the same page about how that's going to proceed.
Yes, and I think you
Yes.
hit it on the head, that we need a very good timeline for the building on December, but even, with Dick and Stephanie doing the bridge now, so in December, we can marry the two, or at least look at marrying the two.
All right, we get this done as much as we can on the bridge.
Yeah, I mean, we've been working with Pannoni, who did our bridge analysis and everything. They've, looking at starting this in 16 in terms of engineering, permitting, design work, et cetera. We're figuring that 16 to 17, with the bidding happening in 18, construction is probably a year, at least a full year of construction,
We
if not
can,
more.
we can close that a little
That
bit?
seems long to me.
Can't we close that a little bit?
We can
You can ask Pannoni to speed up their schedule.
Will we need
But-
somebody else to do it then? It's
Well-
Pannoni?
Well, I mean, you might know one or two bridge engineers that may
Why
want
don't
to
we
do
just
it.
get it as Why do we have to, why do we have to do Pannoni?
I mean, theoretically, you do an RFP,
Yeah. I
for
mean,
timing and all
I
that stuff.
don't really know if, I'm assuming Pannoni gave you a schedule, or...
I don't know. I haven't seen a
or-
schedule.
I mean,
They
I don't
haven't
know,
given us
a
a
year,
schedule,
a
just-
year
we're
to
just
build,
talking.
I think a
Yeah.
year to build sounds long, but...
do too.
But then again, I don't know what's out there. Utilities need to be relocated, things like that, but I'm
Are there
thinking...
utilities there,
They were under
Sean?
the gun. Not attached to the bridge.
There's no sewer lines anywhere nearby or anything like that?
There's a water line.
manhole-
Yeah, but
water
that's-
line
but
out
no
there,
sewer
there's
line.
manhole nearby.
Water
I know
lines are
there's-
easier to relocate than
They
sewer.
haven't done wetland studies, things like that, and those are
Well, I
all
mean,
things
I
that-
do know design and permitting would probably take a year. because permitting is going to be,
Well, can't we do that now?
yes, you can do that
Why
now.
don't we do that now? Why can't we do that now?
Well, we have it for the 2016 budget. I mean, we can,
Well, I mean,
yeah.
do it
We're
now,
expressing the
meaning
interest to
starting
get it rolling,
January
yeah.
1st for the
Yeah, we can
2016.
do that.
I mean, you can even start some of it now, right? I mean,
It would just be nice to have that in English, you know, we're going to do this, and then 2 months later, we're going to do.
I don't think it should be stretching out so long.
I think now that we have some more definitive direction from the board, we can finesse that timeline.
Quicker.
Yeah.
Squeeze it down to 2 years instead of 5.
Wasn't
Whatever
there
you're
something
talking
that the state has this program now for replicating bridges that, you know, if I build a 20-foot bridge over here, this one's 20 foot, and I don't have to go through as much hoops.
Well, we
to make
built the
this-
one on the SEPTA bridge in 2 days.
Exactly.
I don't understand.
You installed the SEPTA
SEPTA
bridge.
bridge.
Okay, well, whatever. In 2 days, yeah.
This will be steel beams, poured concrete, it'll have set. I mean, it's like the one down here on,
I say get it going. We'll find the money. We'll borrow the money either in the big bank loan, or we'll borrow the
Or
money.
you can
Just get it
borrow for
going.
yourselves and then just
Right.
pay it off, pay yourselves back when you do whatever you're going to do for the building.
Yeah. Just get it going. And if Pinoni's on a different timetable than us, then get another.
talk to somebody
Get
else.
somebody
Get
else.
some other RFPs.
Yeah. Put out RFPs
Yeah,
anyway.
that's what we need to get going, get the RFPs out.
And just for everybody's benefit, who doesn't know everything we know that's been going on with the bridge, I mean, Dick and his crew have done a huge effort, as I said at the last meeting, with all the restoration work to buy us time on the bridge. This is not for aesthetics or anything. This is actually safety and, you know, structural issues with it. And I think there were probably deeper, literally, problems than they anticipated, which is why we originally thought maybe 5 years, and realistically, it's shorter than that. So that's why they sense there's an urgency about us to get it done. So just, I mean, I know most of these people know
Sounds like
that.
by the time it's said and done, it's 2 years. So
Yeah.
we might as well start the said now.
Start it now.
So it's done in 2 years.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Just one question, Jeff, is this resolution that you mentioned for recapture, is that a time thing? Should we do it tomorrow?
Well,
Should we
before
do
you
it?
spend any money, yes. So
Do that?
we should do it before the end of the year.
Take care of that?
Sure.
Thank you.
All right, everybody good with that?
Yeah.
We all know what we're doing?
Yes.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right. I think that's it. We did 1, 2, and 3. Doing a more abundant road program, we did that. Treasurer's report for October 20th, 2015. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the bills list for October 20th. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next meeting of the Board of Supervisors, Tuesday, November 17th at 7 p.m. We're closed Tuesday, November 3rd for Election Day, and Wednesday, November 11th for Veterans Day. Applications are being accepted now for the Zoning Hearing Board, as well as some other boards and commissions. Check our website. Please send your interest with resume or letter of interest to the township as soon as possible. Halloween is Saturday, October 24th, 10 to 1. Rain date is Sunday, October 25th at Turf Park. That's Turf Park 3, adjacent to the dog park. CB Care's Pumpkin Fest is 2015 is Saturday, October 24th. That's this Saturday, Moravian Tile Works, 2 to 10 p.m. It's $20 a carload. Doylestown Township Leaf and Yard Recycling, it's every third Saturday of the month from March through December, 9 a.m. to 11 at the New Britain Road access to Central Park. And don't forget, daylight savings time ends on November 1st, 2015. Set your clocks back 1 hour. And replace your batteries in your smoke alarms. That's it, folks. We're done. Thank you very much. Good work, everybody.